Hello, welcome to the world of the curious one. This time, what has my curiosity brought my way? It is how to move to the UK via a global talent visa, popularly called GTV. If you're looking to move into the UK via the GTV, you do not need an employer. Yeah, you heard me right. You do not need an employer. However, there are basic steps and requirements to fulfill for this to work for you. In this edition of Selling the World, I'm going to be touching on how you can achieve this feat on your own without going through a third party or an agent. Basically, there are two types of visas when your goal is to relocate to the UK. One is the popular one everyone knows about and most people go through, but it's been so very hard these days, to achieve because of certain government regulations. And that is the skilled worker visa. Then we have the global talent visa, which is also one of the routes through which you can relocate to the UK. So the question is, what is GTV? GTV is Global Talent Visa, and it's a visa anyone who is a potential leader in the below talent areas can apply. One, the arts and culture. Two, research and academic. And three, digital technology. In GTV, you have promise and you also have exceptional talent. Now, let's quickly look at the differences between skilled worker visa and the global talent visa. One, while it takes 5 years for a skilled worker visa holder to get an indefinite leave to remain ILR, it will only take an exceptional talent visa holder 3 years to get ILR. Isn't that wonderful? Although if it's a promised talent, it will take 5 years, just like that of uh, a skilled worker visa. But for both cases, if you are applying from inside the UK, the time you have already spent in the UK since arriving in the UK will also count, and it will be included in your 5 years. Two, while a skilled worker visa holder can only stay in the UK for 60 days without a visa, a promise or exceptional talent visa holder does not even need to have a job. Yeah, you heard me right. They don't need to have a job because they have something in hand, that is exceptional, which is their talent. And three, while a GTV holder can be self employed, a skilled worker visa holder can only work in an employment. Four, while a skilled worker visa holder needs an employer to support them, a GTV holder have the right to work for anyone, whether it is promised or it is exceptional. They have the right to work for anyone. So, who is eligible for a GTV? According to the UK government website gov.uk, anyone can apply, whether within the UK or from outside of the UK, or even if you already have another kind of visa. Yes, you can upgrade to a GTV. So you must note that it is preferred for you to have a product based experience over service based companies. The question will now be, how can you apply? Yeah, at the beginning, you will need to spend a lot of time preparing and waiting, you know, because you need to be sure that you have all the proofs. You need to prove yourself as a as an eligible candidate for the global talent visa. So you need to prepare your proofs to show the technician that you are a worthy or a leader in your field. So for that, you need a mandatory skills, and you also need optional skills as well as a statement of purpose. So in total, you need to submit up to like 10 documents in the process, though not all the 10 will be required for submission at once. So if you are able to add 3 documents in the mandatory and 3 or 4 in the optional session, well, you're good to go. So I will also advise that you read up on the things on the Tech Nation website in detail so you can know about the guidelines, and all of that. But I must warn, however, that all the necessary guidelines be followed to the letters to avoid any kind of complications, as your application could be rejected if there is anything missing or anything not done rightly. For instance, the letter of recommendation or proofs should not exceed 6 pages. That's the maximum you can go, 6 pages. So no external link should be in the document. For example, if you have a YT video or a conference picture, then you have to screenshot and add it in the document itself. Yeah, I know some people out there are asking what is the difference between a talent and a promise visa. Well, if you have more than 5 years experience in the digital technology field, then you can apply for the talent category. This perception is that the bar for talent may be kind of higher, but it is hard to prove. The technician, which is the endorsement committee, routinely hand out visas in the promise category when someone applies for talent and vice versa. There is no need to overthink that. So if you are applying from outside the UK, before you apply for the global talent visa, you need to have either won an eligible award or successfully applied for an endorsement to prove that you are a leader or a potential leader in your field. So, what are the various eligible awards or prizes that are available for you to utilize through that route? So, the following are prizes list for achievements in science and arts that qualify you for the global talent route. One, architecture prizes. Two, arts and culture prizes. Three, digital technology prizes. Four, the fashion design industry prizes. And five, the film and television prizes. And lastly, we have the science, engineering, humanities, social science, and medicine prizes. So if you hold a prize in any of the lists I've mentioned above, then you can bypass the endorsement stage of the GTV route and go directly to the visa stage. So if you are applying for the endorsement, find out more on how to apply for an endorsement before you apply for a visa. When you have an endorsement, you can apply for a visa if you've been endorsed by an organization approved by the Home Office, or you are applying within 3 months of receiving your endorsement letter, or the organization that endorsed you hasn't withdrawn its approval. You can apply online for a global talent visa. Go to gov.uk and find out more about documents you need to apply for the visa. You may also be able to apply for a visa application in any visa application center from any country in the world, as long as you're permitted to live in that country up to a space of 6 months. So that's the bit I have for you today on Selling the World. It's been your curious one, Fagbamiye Bayo, saying until next time, I'll bring you another buster version of Selling the World. It's bye for now.